June 2024. The entertainment world stands still. Headlines break across the globe. A familiar voice, the one who made her famous, has just said goodbye. But what most people don't know is that Simon Cowell's farewell wasn't just a goodbye. It was something he never imagined he'd have to say out loud. After years of standing beside Susan Boyle, through fame, isolation, and now this heartbreaking twist, Simon has made a decision that could mark the end of an era, not just for Susan, but for him too. What exactly did he say? Why now? And what does it mean for Susan's future and his? Simon Cowell, the legendary talent show judge known for his razor-sharp critiques and undeniable charm, is facing a heart-wrenching moment. The news broke quietly at first. Susan Boyle, the singer who captured hearts worldwide with her unforgettable voice and humble beginnings, has received a tragic diagnosis. Fans, industry insiders, and even Cowell himself were stunned. This revelation shook the foundation of the entertainment world and left many wondering, what does this mean for Susan? And what does it mean for Simon? For years, Susan Boyle's rise from a small Scottish town to global fame was one of Simon Cowell's proudest moments as a mentor and producer. Their relationship went beyond the usual show business connections. It was built on genuine respect and friendship. As the news of her diagnosis spread, Simon found himself reflecting on their journey, the highs and lows, and how Susan's strength inspired millions. But now, faced with an uncertain future, the usually unshakable Simon was forced into a deeply personal goodbye. Behind the scenes, Simon Cowell made the difficult decision to step back from the spotlight, prioritizing Susan's well-being and privacy over the glare of public life. This decision wasn't just about a colleague, it was about a cherished friend. In this opening chapter of A Painful Farewell, we explore how the diagnosis was revealed, the immediate impact on Simon, and the unspoken promise of support that defined their bond even as the world watched with bated breath. Simon Cowell and Susan Boyle's relationship was always more than producer and talent. It was a rare friendship forged in the intense crucible of fame. From Susan's explosive debut on Britain's Got Talent to their ongoing collaborations, Simon's guidance helped her navigate a world that could be unforgiving. But beneath the cameras and bright lights was a connection built on trust, respect, and shared vulnerability. When Susan received her diagnosis, Simon was reportedly by her side, offering the kind of unwavering support that only close friends provide. Unlike the typical media frenzy surrounding celebrity illness, Simon insisted on keeping the details private, protecting Susan's dignity with a fierce loyalty. This part of their story reveals Simon's deeply human side, a man who, despite his public persona, is capable of profound empathy and sacrifice. Their friendship also offers a glimpse into the emotional toll such news takes on those closest to the patient. Simon's decision to step away from his usual roles was not made lightly. It was a testament to how seriously he took Susan's condition and his willingness to prioritize friendship over fame. This segment looks at their bond through the eyes of those who witnessed their journey firsthand, illustrating the strength of a connection that goes far beyond the stage. The exact nature of Susan Boyle's diagnosis remains closely guarded, a choice respected by Simon and the family alike. But what is clear is the profound impact it had not only on Susan's health, but also on her career and personal life. For someone who built a life around her voice, the uncertainty was devastating. Simon Cowell, ever the pragmatist, knew this too well and immediately began to rethink the future they had once imagined together. Susan's diagnosis sent ripples through the entertainment industry, triggering a wave of support from fellow artists and fans alike. Yet, amid this outpouring of love, the reality was stark. Her condition meant she would have to slow down, reconsider projects, and focus on healing. For Simon, who had always championed Susan's extraordinary talent, this was a pivotal moment to shift from public promotion to private care. As Simon navigated this new reality, the weight of responsibility pressed heavily on him. The showbiz world demands consistency and presence, but this time, Simon chose a different path. Instead of pushing forward with glitzy productions, he prioritized Susan's well-being above all. This part of the story details the emotional roller coaster they both endured, fear and determination intertwined, marking a bittersweet turning point in their shared journey. When Simon Cowell announced his temporary withdrawal from several high-profile projects, the news rippled quickly through the entertainment world. For decades, Simon had been the unshakable force behind countless talent shows, his voice a familiar constant to millions. But this time, there was a difference. The usually sharp-edged, razor-tongued judge sounded softer, more reflective, undeniably shaken. The steely confidence that fans had come to expect was tinged with a rare vulnerability, as if the man who had built his career on blunt honesty was now grappling with a deeply personal storm. In a heartfelt public statement broadcast across media platforms, Simon laid bare his emotions. He spoke openly about his love and respect for Susan Boyale, the extraordinary singer whose voice had captured the hearts of the world and whose tragic diagnosis had sent shockwaves through their shared community. His words made one thing clear: some battles are far greater than the glare of the spotlight, transcending fame and fortune to touch the very core of human experience. Simon's farewell was unlike any industry announcement the public had seen before. There were no polished scripts, no carefully crafted sound bites designed to soften the blow or protect reputations. Instead, there was something far more powerful: raw, genuine emotion. He spoke as a friend first, a mentor second, a man profoundly affected by the sudden fragility of a relationship that had shaped his life in ways beyond television ratings. Simon acknowledged the profound influence Susan had had on his own journey, both professionally and personally. He expressed gratitude for the trust and friendship they had nurtured over the years, a bond forged not just through cameras and contracts, but through moments of shared hope, challenge, and triumph. His words resonated deeply with fans across the globe, many of whom had followed Susan's remarkable story since that unforgettable first audition. For them, Simon's message was a powerful reminder that behind every icon is a human being, vulnerable and imperfect, capable of love and loss. This moment also highlighted the extraordinary power of vulnerability in a world often obsessed with appearances and perfection. Simon Cowell, the man renowned for his tough exterior and unyielding standards, revealed a side seldom glimpsed by the public, that of a friend saying goodbye, uncertain of what the future held, but unwavering in his support. The response was immediate and heartfelt. Media outlets paused their usual sensationalism to reflect on the sincerity of Simon's words, while fans flooded social media with messages of sympathy and solidarity. It was a rare moment when a figure so often viewed as larger than life became profoundly human, reminding everyone that sometimes the greatest strength lies in showing your true feelings, even when it means stepping away from the stage. This chapter of Simon's story invites us to witness not just the farewell of a showman, but the quiet courage of a friend facing loss with grace and honesty. Following the heartfelt announcement, an extended year of silence quietly settled over both Simon Cowell and Susan Boyale's public lives. The sudden void left fans and the media grasping for answers, with rumors swirling wildly and speculation running rampant across social media platforms, fan forums, and entertainment news outlets. Yet, in the midst of the noise, Simon made a deliberate and resolute choice to step back completely from social media and the glare of public appearances. Rather than engaging with the endless cycle of questions and conjecture, he sought refuge in privacy, dedicating his energy to personal healing, reflection, and supporting Susan away from the unrelenting spotlight. This silence, though agonizingly difficult for those who admired them both, became a necessary and sacred pause, a moment to absorb and process what was, for many, an almost unimaginable upheaval. Behind closed doors, insiders close to Simon described him as profoundly introspective during this time. Stripped of the usual pressures and expectations that accompany his larger-than-life celebrity status, Simon grappled quietly with his shifting priorities. The relentless demands of fame, the endless travel, the constant public scrutiny, and the expectation to perform were replaced by a more profound and private focus on what truly mattered: friendship, loyalty, and the fragile nature of life itself. Meanwhile, Susan Boyale, surrounded by a loving circle of family, close friends, and a dedicated team of medical professionals, faced her own battle. The media frenzy, once omnipresent, gradually softened and retreated into a respectful hush, providing a rare and precious space for both to navigate this new and challenging reality without the prying eyes and relentless cameras that so often define their worlds. For many observers, this period of silence became a powerful reminder that behind every headline, every public figure, and every viral news story, there lies a deeply human experience, one filled with vulnerability, courage, and resilience. The absence of chatter and updates spoke volumes, communicating far more than words ever could about the importance of privacy during times of crisis. It underscored the universal need to step back, to heal, and to find strength in quiet moments, away from the chaos. In this chapter of their shared journey, Simon walked the delicate line between his enduring role as a public icon and the very personal pain he bore in private, preparing himself for whatever uncertain future lay ahead. Grounded in compassion, reflection, and unwavering support. While the world watched from a distance, largely kept in the dark by a deliberate and respectful silence, Simon Cowell was anything but idle. Behind the locked doors of his private life, away from the glare of cameras and flashing lights, he transformed into a steadfast advocate and unwavering pillar of support for Susan Boyale. Those closest to him recall a man profoundly changed, someone who set aside the relentless demands of his public persona, his career ambitions, and the constant pressures of fame, choosing instead to devote himself entirely to a friend in need. It was a shift, not just in actions, but in spirit, a quiet dedication that spoke louder than any public statement ever could. Simon's role underwent a remarkable evolution, from the sharp-tongued showman known for his biting critiques to a compassionate caretaker who learned the language of vulnerability. This transition tested him in ways few could imagine. His characteristic drive and quest for perfection found new expression as he navigated the complexities of Susan's care, meticulously coordinating appointments, understanding medical terms that once felt foreign, and making countless decisions to ensure she received the best possible treatment. It was a side of Simon rarely seen on screen, thoughtful and fiercely protective. Friends and insiders describe it as a revelation, a depth of character that had always been there but was now unmistakably illuminated by love and necessity. Peeling back the curtain on this private chapter reveals a narrative filled with profound challenges and quiet courage. Simon grappled daily with a torrent of emotions: the frustration of medical jargon that resisted easy understanding, the weight of scheduling endless treatments and consultations, and the ever-present need to be a pillar of emotional strength for Susan, even as he battled his own fears and uncertainties. The loneliness of this journey was palpable, but so was his determination. In these moments, Simon Cowell ceased to be a celebrity and became, simply, a friend. A man who put aside ego and fame to stand steadfast in the darkest hours. It is a powerful testament to friendship's enduring power, one that transcends the spotlight and reminds us all that sometimes true strength lies in quiet devotion. As the months slipped by, faint but persistent whispers began to circulate within the entertainment world, Simon Cowell, the unmistakable force behind countless talent discoveries, was quietly considering a cautious return to the public eye. Yet this time, it was clear that the man who had once thrived amid glitz and high stakes was no longer driven by the same impulses. The weight of Susan Boyle's diagnosis and the profound aftermath had shifted something fundamental within Simon. His perspective on life, work, and what truly mattered had undergone a subtle but unmistakable transformation. Conversations with trusted friends and longtime confidants revealed a man more reflective, more grounded, someone who no longer measured success by ratings and applause, but by genuine meaning and lasting impact. The projects he was now drawn to promised not just entertainment, but purpose, not just spectacle, but significance. Susan, for her part, embodied a quiet but fierce resilience. Despite the immense challenges she faced, she clung tightly to the one thing that had always defined her. Even in the face of uncertainty, her voice remained a beacon, a source of comfort for both herself and her countless fans around the world. Through every private struggle, Simon's unwavering presence was a steadying force, a reminder that she was not alone. Their shared journey, once filled with glittering stages and global spotlights, now carried a deeper meaning. Together, they became living symbols of hope, a testament that even when life deals its cruelest blows, the human spirit, fueled by friendship, love, and artistry, can endure, inspire, and eventually heal. This chapter in their story invites us to witness the earliest signs of renewal, the subtle yet profound shifts in Simon's approach to both his career and his personal life. It captures those tentative, careful steps toward healing and rebuilding, not just in the public eye, but within the quiet spaces where real transformation takes place. Their story is a poignant reminder that sometimes the most difficult endings pave the way for new beginnings, and that in every farewell, there lies the seed of hope and rebirth. Throughout the long and often difficult journey that unfolded after Susan's diagnosis, music remained an unbreakable thread, weaving Simon and Susan's lives together. More than just a shared profession or public image, their mutual love for music became a vital source of comfort, solace, and strength amid uncertainty. In moments when words failed or hope seemed fragile, it was the power of song that spoke louder than any diagnosis or prognosis. Simon, who had always championed Susan's extraordinary talent, never let his faith waver. Time and again, he reminded those around him and himself that music is not just entertainment. It is a profound language of healing, expression, and connection. Their relationship, forged in the spotlight but rooted in genuine human understanding, grew deeper as the challenges intensified. What had begun as a mentor and protege dynamic transformed into something more tender and essential. Simon became a guardian, a steadfast cheerleader, and a source of emotional sanctuary for Susan. Through countless private conversations, late-night calls, and quiet moments shared away from the cameras, he encouraged her to find her voice again, whether in song, in silence, or in whatever form her spirit allowed. This unwavering emotional support took on a power equal to, if not greater than, any medical treatment she received. It was a reminder that the healing journey is not solely physical, but also profoundly psychological and spiritual. This chapter invites us to explore the remarkable resilience that music and personal connection fostered between Simon and Susan during their darkest hours. Their story shines a light on the extraordinary capacity of art to nurture hope, to rebuild fractured spirits, and to sustain the human soul when everything else seems uncertain. In the face of tragedy, their bond shows us how friendship and creativity can become lifelines, reminders that even amidst hardship, the language of music endures as a beacon of comfort and the timeless human will to persevere. Fans around the world responded with an outpouring of heartfelt support and unwavering hope for both Susan Boyle and Simon Cowell. Social media platforms which often become breeding grounds for rumors and speculation, instead transformed into vibrant spaces of solidarity and compassion. Messages flooded in from every corner, from lifelong fans moved by Susan's courage to strangers inspired by Simon's steadfast devotion. Online communities formed around shared empathy, with hashtags and posts celebrating resilience rather than fueling gossip. This remarkable shift revealed just how deeply their story had touched millions, transcending the usual boundaries of celebrity to become a symbol of collective strength and humanity. The media, too, underwent a noticeable transformation in its coverage. What began as a frenzied quest for sensational headlines slowly gave way to more thoughtful, respectful storytelling. Journalists who once chased the latest rumors started highlighting tales of kindness, bravery, and the quiet battles fought behind the scenes. Profiles emerged focusing on Susan's indomitable spirit and Simon's unwavering commitment to her well-being, painting a fuller picture of the people behind the public personas. This change in narrative tone was more than just a shift in headlines. It was a profound recognition that some stories deserve dignity and grace, especially when lives and legacies hang in the balance. Simon Cowell's response to the crisis resonated far beyond his status as a television icon. His decision to shield Susan's privacy and protect her dignity, even at the cost of stepping away from the limelight, earned him widespread admiration and respect. In an industry frequently criticized for its invasiveness and relentless pursuit of drama, Simon's approach stood out as a powerful example of integrity and compassion. Rather than succumbing to the pressures of public curiosity, he chose to honor the bond of friendship and prioritize what truly mattered: humanity over headlines. This choice elevated his reputation, revealing a side of Simon that few had seen before: a devoted friend, a guardian, and a man of principle. Reflecting on the legacy of both Simon and Susan reveals a story that transcends the painful realities of diagnosis and farewell. It is a narrative woven with threads of courage, enduring friendship, and the transformative power of kindness. Their journey reminds us that beyond fame and talent lies a shared human experience, one defined not by setbacks, but by the strength to face them together. It is a testament to how empathy and love can light the darkest paths, leaving an indelible mark on the hearts of millions and inspiring hope for generations to come. Today, Simon Cowell stands at a profound crossroads in his life, a moment where the past and the future meet in quiet tension. Having said goodbye to a chapter that was not only professionally significant, but deeply personal, Simon now finds himself preparing, cautiously and thoughtfully, for what comes next. The path ahead remains uncertain, cloaked in the unknown, yet the experience of journeying alongside Susan Boyale through some of life's most difficult trials has irrevocably reshaped his understanding of what it truly means to succeed. It's no longer about the glitz, the glamour, or the fleeting applause of the crowd. Instead, Simon's definition of success has evolved into something far more enduring and profound: a commitment to authenticity, a deep sense of integrity, and a desire to create meaning that lasts beyond the fleeting moment. In the wake of these life-altering events, Simon's approach to his work and public presence has undergone a remarkable transformation. Gone are the days when spectacle and sensationalism could hold the stage alone. Now, every project he contemplates is measured against a new set of values, one where honesty, emotional truth, and genuine connection take precedence. This shift is subtle, yet powerful. It influences not only what he chooses to pursue, but how he interacts with his audience and collaborators. The lessons carved out from this chapter of his life about patience in the face of adversity, the importance of standing by those we care for, and the courage to walk away when principles demand it, have become the guiding stars of his creative and personal decisions. His voice, once famed for its sharpness and directness, has softened, gaining a warmth and sincerity that resonate deeply with those who listen. As we close this chapter of Simon Cowell's story, it does so on a note that is as hopeful as it is reflective. It invites us all to consider the transformative power of friendship, how, in the darkest of times, true connections provide strength and solace beyond words. It reminds us that saying goodbye, no matter how painful, can be an act of profound courage and grace, not a surrender, but a conscious choice to honor what has been and make space for what might come next. Simon's journey teaches us that behind every public figure lies a deeply human story of resilience, compassion, and reinvention. And so, as the spotlight dims on this chapter, it also illuminates the possibilities ahead, new beginnings shaped by the wisdom born from hardship, and a legacy defined not just by fame, but by the heart.